This gear is called the Sword of the Epicredness. Enemies will take damage when they touch the sword, and if one of them dies, other enemies in the surrounding area will take extra damage. You can also click to swing the sword and press Q to shoot a ring of fireballs. For more information, keep watching. The Sword of the Epicredness looks like a stylized red sword with a cylindrical pommel and engravings on the crossguard. The third of the blade closest to the hilt is jagged and the tips of the blade are lighter than the rest. When in use, the sword appears held in your hand and is around twice as long as your arm. The tool is sold for 500 Robux and has the town and city genre. Its attributes are melee and ranged, and the description says, click the slash, dealing 16 to 22 damage. Hit the Q key to shoot red flames out in all directions, which will slow your enemies and deal 25 additional damage. The sword sends out an explosive neon red orb from its center which quickly expands and explodes. Anybody caught in the explosion is dealt 40 damage. The in-game icon is a tilted image of the sword. It has no tooltip. When equipped, you draw the sword and your cursor changes to the target symbol. The sword emanates red steam. Like most gear, the Sword of Epicredness is droppable. The first way to use the gear is to click with it at least 1 second after it's equipped. You will swing the sword for 3/4 of a second, and during this time your cursor changes to the reloading target symbol. Whether or not the sword is being swung, if it touches an R6 player or NPC that is not you and is not on your team, they will take damage. If the sword is being swung, they will take between 16 and 22 health points of damage, but if it is not, they will only take 7 to 11 damage. If the target is killed through this contact, a red neon sphere will appear where the sword is, growing to a size of 20 by 20 by 20 studs and then turning invisible in 1 second. The hitbox of this sphere is twice its size, and each R6 player and NPC intersecting the hitbox that is not you and is not on your team will take 40 health points of damage. The second way to use the gear is to press Q, also at least 1 second after it's equipped. Doing so will spawn 8 red fireballs around your character, launching outward at a speed of 75. Each fireball has a hitbox of 6 by 6 by 6 studs and will disappear if it does not hit a target after 5 seconds. If a fireball does hit an R6 player or NPC that is not you and is not on your team, they will catch fire, their walk speed will change to 8, and they will take 30 points of fire damage over the next 7.5 seconds. If a target survives this, their walk speed will change to the default speed of 16, and the flames will disappear. The cooldown for using the fireballs is 10 seconds. If a player is killed by the sword, a sphere, or a fireball, and the game you are playing has KOs, you will earn one. Unfortunately, the gear does not work if your character is R15. However, it does not break, meaning that if you drop it and an R6 character picks it up, they will still be able to use the sword. So is the Sword of the Epicredness worth getting? I definitely believe so. Though the gear is somewhat expensive, it deals decent damage and has many functions for different styles of combat. The spheres and fireballs are good for attacking opponents around you, and because the sword always deals damage, it has a chance of still earning you KOs while you are AFK. If you have any other gear you want me to review, let me know in the comments. That is all for this review. Bye.